I was originally introduced to affiliate marketing about 11 years ago. So I got into it back in the Wild West days, so to speak, and I was focused around AdWords at the time, running different types of campaigns. Things were very different back then, so I had some success early on, but I was young and wasn't really business savvy and didn't quite manage things properly. Later on, I decided to transition to a consulting business, which I still own, and we work with B2B companies to manage their online marketing and handle all their online lead generation. But about a year ago, I kind of got the itch that I wanted to step back into the affiliate marketing space, and I decided to do so. And so I went to one of the best resources, which is the STM forum, which I've been a part of in the past. And so I rejoined it, kind of got acclimated to the current landscape of things and determined where I wanted to begin. And I decided to start with mobile pop traffic. And so from there, I just put a lot of effort into understanding how to develop and create mobile pop campaigns, and things have grown since then. Over the last 11 months, I've added 2 people to my team, so we have a small team now, and we're continuing to grow in that sense. We focus a lot on mobile pin submits, things like antivirus, gaming offers, sometimes adult or some types of glamour type of offers, but we also do a lot of sweepstake campaigns as well that are more lead gen based. I actually do offer coaching to a limited number of affiliates, and so what a lot of times I've advised them to do if they're just starting out, because there's different stages. You have some affiliates that have a larger budget to work with and they may be a little bit more knowledgeable already, or you have those who are working with a smaller budget and starting from ground zero. Either case, I tend to recommend that they start with low payout offers. Something less than 50 cents a lot of times is a great starting point, because your primary goal when starting is to generate data, collect information that allows you to review it and make decisions. So if you don't have data, you can't really make much decisions and determine how to turn a campaign profitable. And with lower payout offers, it requires a smaller test budget to determine some of that, to collect some of that information. So the types of offers, sweepstakes are a great type. There's also a lot of low payout pin submits, and then also app install campaigns, so what's called CPI campaigns. Those tend to convert quite easily and are great starting points. At least it gives you a way to collect data at a lower cost. That way you're not losing a tremendous amount of money, and get yourself more acclimated to things and more familiar, and then you can start progressing to more aggressive offers or more higher payout pin submits and things like that, which you guys do a lot of work in. Yes, that's a short answer. So just to give you a little insight about my personal goals and kind of how it translates to that, for me it's time. Time and flexibility is what a lot of us really desire, and I guess that's kind of where that messaging is speaking to for those who want a little more control of their own destiny. Learning affiliate marketing, whether you're sticking to doing it full time or whether you learn those skills and then move off into something else that you can utilize those skills with, it can certainly allow you to have the flexibility to travel if you want, to live in different locations, work remotely if you choose to, and certainly obtain your financial goals. Absolutely. Mobile pop traffic? That's a good question, because there's a lot of different traffic types, right? So when I got back into it, I wanted to start with something. I had a specific budget that I had set to begin, right? So I dedicated this amount of a budget to start my affiliate business once again, and I knew that pop traffic is a lower cost traffic in general, and so it's a great way to maximize the amount of budget that I had and use it towards pop traffic. So I can buy so much more traffic and potentially more data that allows me to learn, to make campaigns profitable, whereas if I'm working with Facebook or native traffic, the cost is a little bit more expensive, so I would have to be willing to lose more, and in a lot of cases have a higher starting budget. Sure, okay, so I see a lot of affiliates when they launch their campaign that they decide to start cutting or start removing elements of the campaign too soon. So you might be testing 5 different offers for a brand new campaign, and you might have 2 or 3 landing pages that you're also testing in that new campaign. And you'll find that a lot of times after a small initial test, they'll just like, nothing converted, so they just scratch everything. And they didn't give it enough opportunity to convert, or they didn't spend enough money to run it longer so that they could collect data to determine what's working. So one caution and one mistake I see happen all the time is they make decisions too early because they don't have a process. They don't understand what to do, and so they just kind of randomly shoot in the dark. So what I suggest they do is, even if you're learning and you don't fully understand everything yet, write down step by step what you're going to do and just follow it. It may not be correct the first time or two, but over time it will. You'll perfect it. For what I'm doing with affiliate marketing, strategies that I found to work best for me are focusing on countries that are in the Tier 2, Tier 3 geos. A couple of regions that are doing quite well is like the Middle East, South Africa, and your geos like India, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam. Focusing on those regions are great because there's a lot of traffic at a reasonable cost, and there's usually quite a few offers available. So you can typically find campaigns much easier in that sense. For those starting out, it's great to target geos that are countries that are 50 to 70 million population or below, because a lot of bigger affiliates don't spend a lot of time in those geos, and so it gives you less competition, right? So there's less optimization needed, and you typically can find campaigns profitable more often. Although they're going to be small, but they're great starting points. Sure, so when I got back into the industry, I started with sweepstakes campaigns. For whatever reason, I just couldn't make it work. I don't know why. And so I decided to start trying different things. So I started to test multiple countries for sweepstakes, still didn't have much luck. Then I decided to change up and try a different type of category altogether, which is when I stepped into app installs. And the reason why is because the process that a user has to go through to make a conversion is simple. They see a landing page, they click on it, they get taken to like the Google Play Store or the iTunes Store, and they simply click download, and it downloads to their phone. There's really not a lot of, there's not a hard process to complete. And because of that, the conversion started coming in very quickly, and that allowed me to learn. And that's the part you have to figure out in the beginning, is how to optimize a campaign. But to do that, you got to have the data coming in. So later on, I've revisited sweepstake offers. I do a lot of pen submits, and those work well, but they don't convert quite as often, perhaps, in comparison to like an app install campaign. The volume is a lot more frequent conversions. So once you learn the basics with something low payout that converts very easily, then you can move on to the higher payout or to the more challenging offers. The main trends are, that's a great question. There's always a lot of trends. Some of the main things I'm noticing is that certainly there's more people stepping into pop traffic, so it's getting more competitive. And so to balance that out, you need to start moving faster than you think you are. There's been 2 points in the last year, 2 different time periods, where I thought that I was progressing quite fast. I thought that we had a good team, we had good tools in place, and then one day I'm like, I'm not moving quick enough, but I thought I was. So then we started adding things to our process to improve. And then several months later, I had the same realization once again. And I think that's because I'm recognizing more competition stepping in. Those who have more experience, like myself and others, we're starting to take more control of the better quality traffic. We're finding the better offers faster. So if you're starting out, if you're not able to move very quickly, then it's going to be very difficult to get a piece of the pie. So there's a lot of buzz around e-commerce and Facebook Shopify. I see a lot of people going that direction. It's certainly a more complex setup required. So you can't just launch a campaign, make money off of it, and move on. You have to have customer support. You have to identify good products. You have to have a promotion strategy. You have to have an email marketing strategy. But the great thing is it's completely compliant to all the traffic sources. So you have no headaches of getting your accounts banned or having issues. But you do have to deal with like customer support, refunds, and things like that. Cash flow is going to be a challenge. So that's one big trend that's happening that you hear a lot of people talk about. There's a lot of affiliates doing very well in that, and it'll be around for quite some time. And to bounce off of something I see as a trend on like the pop traffic side of things is traffic sources are starting to make adjustments that help you find the better quality traffic. It's really important to learn your traffic source very well, all of the features, and speak to your representatives at those sources because they're constantly coming out with new things, and if you jump on them first, you'll stay ahead. And there's not been a lot of changes over the last about a year ago. There was not a lot of changes with traffic sources, but the last 6 months you're starting to see new updates constantly, and a lot of them are very good updates. So that's one trend. On the negative side, there's some concerns about Google coming out with new ad block technology into their browsers. There's a lot of uncertainties with that. I don't think pop traffic's going anywhere. I don't think certainly affiliate marketing is not going anywhere. But there's always going to be, big Google or big Facebook. They're always going to throw something that instills a little bit of fear, right? But I don't think there's anything to worry about. I think you guys are positioned on a couple specific points really well. In addition to you guys being everywhere, like I see you at all the conferences, I get in contact by a couple of you guys all the time. I know you pretty well. One thing I think is attractive to affiliates is the flexibility of payout terms. When especially just starting out, getting your revenue back so you can reinvest it and getting it back and reinvesting it, it's a really big thing, and you guys, I think, approach it very well because you allow for daily payouts at your choosing and of different formats. So that's a huge benefit, and I think you guys have positioned yourself well in that way. There are a lot of people who still don't know about that though, despite it being a pretty common thing that we know, that those who use you are aware of. I think that you guys are uniquely positioned because you dominate Pensiment type offers is what you focus on, which is great because those type of campaigns, from my perspective as affiliate, when running those, we deal with less bot traffic. So there's a higher percentage of time we can find a Pensiment campaign that does work, and we don't have to cut as much junk out of our campaign because we're targeting carrier traffic, people using their mobile phones on the carrier. So that's a great thing, and that's kind of like your specialty, where you guys specialize, and that's a great uniqueness. While I don't have direct experience with yours yet, I think that those type of optimizations and automations certainly help. We built some of our own custom tools that help with some of that process. And if someone's wanting to, like I said earlier, stay competitive and stay ahead of things, automation and data analyzing is going to be very important. So yes, definitely. Future plans, nothing concrete. There's a lot kind of up in the air. I am considering developing a pretty thorough video course that's around mobile pop traffic, and for those who want to kind of get into the space, still uncertain, but I've been getting a lot of questions and inquiries about that. I have an insider's tips email list that people have joined, and they give me a lot of great feedback. Some of them keep poking me over and over just to kind of teach them, and I can't teach everyone. I don't have that kind of time. So I think something like that's very helpful. Otherwise, I'm looking at expanding, in addition to doing pop traffic, I'm looking at expanding into Facebook and potentially native traffic as well.